Hey everybody, 2022 is coming to a close and 2023 is almost upon us, so I just want to go over what my wish list is for SWGOH in 2023. We've already had a lot happen in 2022. I just got a brand new territory battle. It's very exciting. We just got gear doubled, which is amazing. Datacrons came to the game. We have a ton of new characters, a new Galactic Legend, lots of stuff. And I just want to go over things I want to see in 2023, ranging from simple quality of life changes to larger qualitative changes to how the game works, game mode adjustments, as well as new characters and paths forward for heirs to explore. The first thing I'd like to see, and probably what I'd like to see the most, is a split between Cantina energy and Relic energy. Of course, there's only 3 nodes in the Cantina table that have Relic energy, but those 3 are the most important right now, and it's very hard to catch up on character farming while you're trying to get all these Relic materials. And if you are trying to get Relic materials, you're not going to be able to farm all the characters that you need. So I would like to see either just a discount of Cantina energy to 50 crystal refresh as default, or a complete split. I would like to see a discount and a split where Cantina energy, it costs 50 crystals, and it is exclusively for characters, so you don't have to choose between farming your Relic energy and your characters. And for newer players, the Cantina energy, that price is very steep, so this would be a new player-friendly change. And if you remove relics from the Cantina table, you're not giving an unfair advantage to late-game players. I think this would be completely imbalanced to do, because CG has been doing a lot to try to help new players advance, while not giving endgame players just an incredible boost. And the changes do give them quite a boost as well, even though people say it's not a huge boost. But yeah, I think it would be fair, 100 crystals for Relic energy and 50 for Cantina energy. I'm not sure which color they'd make it, but this is just an idea. Next thing I'd like to see is ship double drops or accelerated blueprints. We've had accelerated character shards in the game for a long time, just 2 per go if the character is over a year old, and that's been extremely helpful even for me as an endgame player. If I drag my feet on getting a character, that really helped me out. But it's also amazing for new players. Shards are not the big bottleneck they used to be, and there's so many characters in the game. I know the reasons they might not do this for ships, because there's way less ships in the game. I don't know, there's like 40 or 50 something, nowhere near the over 200 characters. And you don't have to like gear ships, you just have ability mass to upgrade them, and you have to upgrade the pilot. So the grind alone for ships is just those blueprints. So there might not be much of an incentive to change this for CG, but I definitely think it would be new player friendly to increase older ships. I mean, even if they want to do like an older threshold, like 1 or 2 years, I'd understand that. I'd also understand if they wanted to not double the drops for pilotless ships, because pilotless ships are just automatic. You don't need to put any investment behind the ship. It's just the abilities and leveling it up. But would really, really love to see this in 2023. And next, this is a very common complaint and wish, that is ship squads. I think there's has to be some kind of technical reason that they're not able to do it, because they are aware of it. And I think if it were easy to do, they would just do it and have it as like a side note in some kind of random update. But this is definitely something that needs to happen in the game. It's kind of annoying. Like when I'm trying to test out fleets, I have to manually sort through all of them. And when even in GAC, it's just annoying clicking just every ship. And the UI is this left side UI. Now that I think of it, I would like to see this change altogether, because it's really annoying to have to scroll down through like just a 2-column thing. Like we could have it much wider across, so it's way easier to select from. Now, this is something I'm pretty sure is never going to happen, because I don't know, maybe they don't like how much benefit people get from it, and they like to gate using Bronziums behind the rate at which you can click one button over and over again. But I just want to buy all button for Bronzium packs. Right now in that screenshot, I've got 60,000, and that takes like 10 minutes of clicking to get through. And yeah, I know you can use hot utils, but that costs money. And if I were going to spend money on this game, I would spend it in the game directly to actually get an advantage. This would just be so easy to do. Like, I don't see why they can't do it. They have a policy of trying to get people to use their ally points on other stuff. There's ally points in the weekly shipments and the Datacron store, but it's all terrible value compared to what you can get from Bronziums and drops from characters you've already completed. And if you're a new player, there's plenty of good characters that you can get that you won't have to farm otherwise if you can pull them enough in Bronziums. Next, I want to be able to sort by Relic Amplifier level, and this is another very simple one. They added sort by empty mod slots before Relic Amplifier level, and with Rise of the Empire TB, this is important. There's specific gates based on your Relic level of what characters you can use on each planet, and we just don't have a way to sort through Relic 1 through 9. You can sort through power, which is mixed, because if you have a bunch of Zetas or a bunch of other abilities, you're going to be higher rated. You're going to have a higher power. If your mods are better, you're going to have a higher power. So you can't, there's no easy way to tell. In the state of my account, I wasn't able to go, I had to make just squads to show which characters I have at R7 or R8 or R9. You can't sort by it, which is kind of crazy. We really need to be able to sort by this. Next, this is something kind of suggested to me in my community post where I was asking for suggestions of what people would like to see in 2023. I think it would be cool to have a challenge to your Galactic War. Now, I wouldn't want that every day because Galactic War used to be known as Galactic Chore because it took so long and you have to do it every day. I do enjoy the sim button for this normal mode, but if it's maybe 1 time per week or 2 times per week, with extra rewards and increased difficulty, this is a very fun game mode. When you're early game, as long as you are able to finish it and you're not pressed for time and it's not like an existential threat to your progress, it's a very fun game mode. It's just randomly pulled squads. You get to use your own squads and experiment with them without too much repercussions. It's kind of like, I mean, people want a sandbox mode. It's not that, but it's just another way to test out your characters against good squads without having to risk it in real PvP. Squad Arena, you can't select. There aren't many options to fight. There's only the very best teams. This would be an amazing, just fun addition. And maybe you could throw in something like Omicrons or Datacron Mats or Relic Material Energy, or Relic Signal Data or Relic Materials. I think it would be really cool to see a reprise of this game mode. Next, I would like to see Gungan characters and more Phantom Menace content. I know it's considered like one of the worst Star Wars movies, but I love it. I saw it when I was 6. I'd already seen the original trilogy, so I was very excited. And I really love the movie. I don't think Jar Jar ruins it. I mean, I don't think he adds that much, but I think it would be really cool. This is a whole unexplored faction. There's plenty to them. They have a whole army. They got generals. I love Big Boss Nass. He was one of the funnier characters in the movie, but I definitely think I don't know, it would just be cool to explore. I'm not saying we need like Darth Jar Jar or anything crazy like that, any fan fiction theories, but yeah, I think this would be a cool faction to have. What I'd also like to see is more prequel era ships, and now that rebels and bounty hunters are at the top of the food chain and the negotiators no longer dominant, I think we could afford to have some of these. This is Padme Amidala's ship, or the ship that they all were on in the Phantom Menace. So I don't know, maybe we can have a young Padme pilot or just normal Padme, get Captain Panaka or something, or the pilot for that ship. It's just a cool ship. That's not my priority. I like the Naboo Starfighter, and I don't know who you'd have to fly it. Like, I don't think they're going to bring 9-year-old Anakin into the game, but maybe like just straight up R2 or something. I really like this ship. I think it's super cool. I definitely think we need to add it. And then this is easy because we already have a pilot. This is Yoda's Starfighter, and a lot of people have Yoda at R8 already, so it would kind of be like counter to CG's interest because you already have the pilot fully developed. But we've seen them do that with the Resistance and First Order tanks that came out last year. They were already developed to R5 because people will go for Rey or Kylo Ren. But I think any of these could provide a nice boost to the negotiator and make it more viable against the top fleets. Not dominate them, but definitely viable. But what we need more than more Galactic Republic ships, we need Separatist ships. There's only 5 of them. 2 of them are pilotless, and then 3 are just Geonosians. This looks like a Geonosian ship, and it is in structure, but this is Count Dooku's ship. It's hard to see him, but he's right here. And you also saw that in Attack of the Clones. I think that would be an awesome addition. Dooku's already R8, so yeah, it'll be hard for them to pull the trigger on that. But his use is very much waning in this game, so I'd love to see him have a contribution in fleets. And then we got the gunship that we saw in Geonosis TB. I'm not sure who would pilot that, or if we should have it the same kit. I would kind of like a different kit, but I would love to see all these ships. These are very cool ships. It would just be very interesting for me to see them come to the game. What I'd like to see almost more than prequel era stuff is KOTOR 2 stuff. We already have Treya, Nihilus, and Scion from Envis Smar from KOTOR 2, but I'd like to see a deep dive into more of the characters. Over here on the left, we got Beodur, we got Atton Rand, the Handmaiden, and Mandalore. And all except Mandalore in KOTOR 2, you can train to be a Jedi. They don't start as Jedi, but if you pick the right conversation choices and have the right influence over them, you can make them Jedi where they weren't before. Atton Rand is kind of like the Carthanasi of the game, and he's kind of like that Han Solo character. I think all these would be really cool, and there's a lot more characters to draw from in KOTOR 2. This is Mandalore. He's actually Canderous, but with a mask, and he assumed the role of the Mandalore in the dispersed Mandalorian clans, just providing a leader to them. This was one of my favorite games, and I'd love to see more characters from it. I played it even before KOTOR 1, so this would be a great addition to the game, and I'd love it to be one of the eras they explore next. And if they add all those KOTOR 2 characters to the game, it could be a lead up to an Old Republic era Galactic Legend. I wouldn't want it any earlier than mid-year. I really liked how they slowed down the pace of Galactic Legends instead of doing 2 at a time. And even when they did still have 2 at a time, they took their time on releasing like Lord Vader and splitting him and Kenobi. But I'd like to see either Revan Reborn, which I think most people would like to see, but I'd also accept Atris. This is Atris from KOTOR 2. She was one of the last Jedi alive after the Old Republic purge and the Sith Empire rose, and she had this like secret temple on the North Pole of a planet that was just undetectable. Pretty cool character, and she had like a host of like cloned handmaidens and stuff. But she's an intriguing character. I actually saw in a developer Q&A a long time ago. I don't know if I'd even be able to find it, but a developer said they love Atris and would love to bring her to the game. So maybe that'll happen. I think Revan Reborn would definitely be a priority for me instead of her, but I would like to see both of them, and I think she could fit the mantle of Galactic Legend. If Jabba the Hutt can be a Galactic Legend, pretty much anyone can fit that bill. So that's it. That is my whole wish list for 2023. If we get even some of it, I would consider it a success. If we get all of it, that would be amazing. Let me know what you would like to see in 2023. If you think I'm wrong about the Gungans or something like that. But thanks for watching, and Happy New Year.